Okay, so now we're going to see how we could find out. You're watching computer concept videos. We're going to see how we could find a good title and description for that video. Who's interested? Say aye. So I'm going to go to my Finder, and I've got that video in Movies. And there's the video we just recorded. I remuxed it from an MKV to an MP4. I'm going to launch this piece of software. You could just find software and to do stuff. So that's how I found this. It's called MacWhisper. And I'm going to open up this video, and it's going to transcribe this video to text. So it's going to get all the text out of everything I said and give me a text transcript. It takes about a minute. And then once I have this text transcript, what am I going to do? What is the goal here, what we're doing? What did I say? What?
Are we going to input it into the AI?
Yeah, we'll put all this text into AI, and we'll say, give me a good title and description for this video. I'm going to put it on YouTube. And then I'll also ask it to create thumbnails for me. And then I'll have the thumbnails, I'll have the title, I'll have the description. And then I could say, create a social media post. And I could share it if I wanted, right? And then if I wanted to, I could figure out how do I make this more of a system. And the system just automatically runs. I throw a video in, and it just publishes everything and does it all for me, and I don't have to touch it. So I'm going to export this transcript, and I'll just put it in the same folder. So there's the transcript. I'm done with this file. And then I'm going to go to Gemini. And Gemini, I could say attached is a transcript. Write a title and description for a YouTube video, for this video so that I can post it on YouTube and make sure it has great SEO and drives clicks and views. And then that's it. I'll do this first part. Give it one thing to work on. So now I'll submit this. Whoops, did I drag in the MP4? I want the text file. I thought that's taking a while to upload. Title options. Let me turn the lights down so you can see this a little bit better. How many people find this interesting? Say aye. How many people do not find it interesting? Say aye.
I'm not quite sure what we're doing.
What's up? You have a question? What we're doing?
Yeah, I'm really not following what it is we're doing.
That's a good question. I'm just showing you a little bit about ways I use AI in my life.
Oh, okay.
And then, we're using AI for our assignments. And so I'm showing you okay, here's how I use AI, and you're growing your AI skills.
This isn't something we're going to do.
Yeah, you don't have to do this. This is
Okay.
just like FYI.
All right.
I'm kind of driving you through the countryside and say, look at that barn over there. Look at that. Well, I could, this AI stuff over here. So it gave me 3 titles and a description. And as soon as we're done with this, Kenny, we'll jump into doing the class specific stuff.
All right.
And then I could say, give me 3 prompts that I can enter into an AI LLM that creates images, and those prompts should be to create YouTube thumbnails for this video. Make the thumbnails engaging so that they drive clicks. All right. And now it's going to give me 3 prompts. So I'm just asking for the prompt. And this is one of the skills, is instead of me having to think of the prompt, the AI thinks of the prompt. How many people prompt for a prompt already? Raise your hand or say aye. Okay, instead of me having to think up the good prompt, I have AI think up the good prompt, and it writes the good prompt. Like this would have taken me a while to write, and it wrote 3 of them. And now I could go to Gemini again, and I could go more images. I could go to images, and I could have it create that thumbnail. Right? And I'll have it create the second thumbnail. And if you do it too fast, you get flagged for being an automated bot. But here's the first one. AI got me hired. That will probably get clicks. Right? Learn 10x faster. That will probably get clicks. And now we're going to create one more thumbnail. And we'll see what this one looks like. Don't get left behind. Here's your key. Recommendation letter. Right? That's pretty good. I like all those. So I'm going to download them. Kaboom. 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 We got any YouTubers in here? Or creators? Cecil. All right. How long you been a creator?
2 years.
2 years. Sweet, man. What kind of content do you create?
I'm a Star Wars content creator.
Nice. I don't know what that looks like, but maybe sometime offline you could show me. So is anybody interested to seeing the final step of this process, putting a video on YouTube and why I created 3 thumbnails so I could do A/B testing? If you want to see that, say aye. If you don't want to see it, say aye. We could have differences of opinion. You want to practice having a difference of opinion? All right, I'll start. Chocolate ice cream is the best. Somebody differ with me.
Vanilla ice cream is the best.
All right, good job. We have a difference of opinion. What do you like? Caramel? Right on. Difference of opinion. It's good. Humans like consensus. They don't like conflict. So differences of opinion can be hard. Good practice. All right. So now that I have that created, I could go to YouTube, and I could go to, YouTube Studio for my channel, and I could go to Create and upload videos, and I could select files, and I'm going to upload that video. So here's that video right there, and it's my only MP4, so that's the one. So it's uploading the video. And then I'm going to get my title, and my title is right here. And let's vote on the title. Read the titles. And you're going to vote for one. So read 1, 2, 3, option 1, 2, 3. All those who like option 3 say aye. All those who like option 2 say aye. All those who like option 1 say aye. Huh. All right, well, I was liking 1, but it seemed like there was more people who did 2. And you can only do 1. Well, you could A/B test your titles, but I'm not going to. All right, so there's our title. And now I have the description, right? And so here it is. I'm just going to grab all this and paste it into the video area. Oh, but it came out funny. Came out funny. So here's the workaround. I copy it, and I could launch a Google Doc, or I could launch like Microsoft Word maybe, but this is how I do it. I launch something called VS Code. And then I paste it. Nope, didn't like it. Try again. Yeah, didn't like it. Oh, you know what? This is what I got to do. So let's try this. So now I'm going to try copying it right down here. Instead of copying, highlighting, copying, I'm going to hit copy there. Let me put that in, see what that looks like. So that's better, but it's weird. See all those weird markings on it? Stars. How many people have seen stuff like that before? Say aye. What is that stuff? Who could tell me? Anybody? So that's called Markdown. And Markdown is how machines add headings and bold and italics. And you could go to Markdown cheat sheet. And at Markdown cheat sheet, it'll show you that syntax. So 2 asterisks on both sides of something, that's how you bold text. 1 asterisk on both sides of something, that's how you italicize text. If it has 1 hashtag, that's heading 1, right? Like that'd be like the title. And then 2 hashtags is heading 2. Get it? Say aye. Okay, not complicated, is it? Now I paste this in here to VS Code, pasted like that, but I could do a keyboard shortcut and say, you know what, render this markdown as human readable text, not machine readable text. And so it's going to render it, okay, which means it goes from what works for the machines to what works for humans. So I'm right here, Command-Shift-V is the keyboard shortcut. I just know that because I've worked with VS Code. And so here is now all of this in human readable format. I can now copy this and go back to my YouTube video and paste it in, and look, it looks nice. Right? Good enough. And then down here, I add my thumbnails, A/B testing. So I could add this thumbnail, and I'm going to go to downloads, I think, where my thumbnails are. There's the first one. That one's kind of the worst, but good enough. And then here's the next one. I like that. Plays on people's fear of missing out. And so now I have an A/B test. What's an A/B test? Who can tell me?
Options, right? 2 options, A or B.
So yeah, 2 options, A or B. This is like ABC. So they're testing 3 things, but it's called an A/B test. And they use A/B tests in business and in marketing and in advertising and in software development. And they say, well, let's test, here what's going to happen is let's test each thumbnail against 50 people. And when we show it to 50 people, how many click? And so they'll show 1 thumbnail to 50 people, the second thumbnail to 50 people, and then the third thumbnail to 50 people. And the one that gets the most clicks, that's the most engaging, that's the one that'll win, and the one that becomes the thumbnail for this video.
Is that crowdsourcing?
Yeah, that's a form of crowdsourcing, right? Because we're having people contribute their opinions, their clicks, their votes. And if you wanted to, you could set in different titles here for each of these, right? But I'm just going to keep the title we had for all of them. So it's only testing the thumbnail, not the title. I wonder, question, right? Let me go get these titles, and then I have a question. So we have these titles. Boop, there's the first one. We got the second one already. Here's the third one. Okay, we got those 3. Now I'm going to take a screenshot of this. What's a screenshot? Who could tell me what a screenshot is? Take a picture of my screen. How do you find out how you do a screenshot? Ask AI. If you're on Windows, if you're on Android, if you're on your iPhone, if you're on your Mac, how do I take a screenshot on my MacBook Pro? And if you ask AI that, AI is going to say Command-Shift-3 or Command-Shift-4. I'm going to do Command-Shift-3, and it just took a screenshot. You see it right there? Right? It's going to put it on my desktop. So I'm going to go Gemini. I'm going to say, I'm A/B testing thumbnails and titles for a YouTube video. Does YouTube cross test the titles with the thumbnails? I'm not sure if I'm using the correct terminology there. If there is terminology that is used for that, let me know what it is. I want to know if the A/B test will find the very best thumbnail and title combination, trying each title with each thumbnail. And just out of curiosity, how many possible combinations are there when you mix 3 things to 3 things? What's the formula for that? How many possible combinations are there? Does anybody know? And how do you spell curiosity? I don't know. And how do you spell curiosity? Right? Like, whatever. Just ask it whatever. No, YouTube does not cross-test every combination. So it's going to be this one with that, this one with that, this one with that. I'd like it if they cross-test it. And since this is the one we liked, I'm going to put it in every one. Right? But if I wanted to, I could try that other one once. I'm going to set the test. Okay? And I'm going to add this to a playlist. I'm going to call it new playlist. Guess what I'm going to do here? Take a picture of that, go to this chat, drop it here, give me a title and a description for this playlist, which will hold videos that are from my computer concepts class, e.g. means, for example, videos that teach people the fundamentals about computers and technology, making them computer literate. What's literate mean? Yeah, literate means you know something, you could read that thing, you could speak about that thing. Literacy, like I'm able to read and write, I have literacy. You could have literacy with reading and writing, you could have literacy with computers, you could have literacy with auto mechanics, right? So now it gave me titles and a description for the playlist. Computer concepts, fundamentals of technology, and digital literacy. I'll go with that. And it's here and there. And I will grab this. And date published. I'll do oldest first. So that people, in language is English, United States, create. So now I got my playlist. This video is going to be added to that playlist. Done. Right? And no, it's not made for kids. Okay? Kids stuff is kids stuff, and it only shows up for kids. This is like, it's, adult stuff. And we're not talking about that other adult stuff. So just, it's not cartoons. And we're going to make it public. And I think the video is ready to go, right? Like all of our checks checked out. We've uploaded the video. We got our thumbnails. We got our titles and our description. It's in our playlist. Boom, boom, boom. Wow, wow. It's gone. Okay? And then I could share it if I wanted. And then the last thing we were looking at is this. A/B testing. Multivariate testing, full factorial design, the formal term for testing all possible combinations of multiple variables simultaneously to see which subelements interact best. It's called multivariate testing or full factorial design. Okay? A/B/N testing or split testing. A/B testing is also called split testing, comparing a discrete set of predefined variants. And combinations in the formula. There are 9 possible combinations. The formula comes from the fundamental counting principle, the ordinality of Cartesian product. In titles, in thumbnails, you just multiply them together. Because 3 titles are going to 3 thumbnails, so 1 goes to 3, 2 goes to 3, 3 goes to 3. That happens 3 times, that's 9. So that's the math. And I demonstrate that because becoming curious and asking questions and exploring your curiosity is what makes you smarter. And you've seen me role model this for you right here in the first 30 minutes. Right? Like, I don't know how you spell curiosity. Where is curiosity? Is it here? At the bottom? Oh. Curious. C-U-R-I-O-U-S. And then I-T-Y. The U is dropped. So it's like this, curiosity.
The more clear that you describe it to the AI, the better result that you're going to get.
Yeah. because AI is a very general tool. And so it's this tool that knows everything in the world. And the more of it there is in the world, the more it knows it. So it's going to understand algebra really well, because there's a lot of information about algebra in the world, and also about history. But it's going to have a harder time with, like, epigenetics related to longevity and the 3 things in the gene that need to change. Because that's like cutting edge, brand new. There's not a lot of information out there that humans know. So the AI hasn't been able to learn it. But AI is a general tool, and you need to focus it. You need to say, I want you to accomplish this very focused thing. And the more you could focus it, the better. And so you've seen the prompts that we run in class. They're really long, right? And they'll include things like, here's the role that you're playing. You're a tutor. Here's the goal. Here are the things to go through. And when you really focus it like that, okay, now it's going to do that one thing. Here's the output to produce. Have at least this many exchanges. So it's really focused. In your personal life, so I did those prompts for these classes. And in your personal life, it might be like, I want to make French crepes for my kids on Saturday. I don't know my way around the kitchen. I'm giving it information about who I am. I want you to pretend you're the best French chef in the world and walk me through the whole process step by step, because I'm a total beginner. Right? So I took it knows all these things, and I focused it on doing this one thing. So it made it really focused. So the better the prompt, the better it does, generally speaking. And you could have it write the prompts for you.
You could write the prompt for you too?
Yeah, so to illustrate that example, well, let's go to Grok. I want to make, I don't know, can I just talk to it? Allow while visiting the site. I want to make crepes for my kids this weekend. I don't know my way around the kitchen very well. I want you to write a prompt for me that I can give to a large language model chatbot AI, and the prompt is going to turn that large language model chatbot into like the best French chef in the world, so it could walk me through making crepes step by step. Does this make sense? Let me know if you have any questions. If it doesn't make sense, ask me what you need from me so that it does make sense. But I want you to return the prompt to me that I could run at some AI. Go ahead and do that.
But do you have to call it a large language model?
You could call it like chatbot, you could call it large language model, you could call it AI. All those are interchangeable.
So like if you're talking to Gemini, can you just say Gemini?
You could say Gemini. Yeah, sure. It probably knows to recognize that. So here's a ready-to-use prompt you can copy and paste into any large language model. Give that to me as Markdown. And so now it's giving it to me as Markdown. It's just like dashes for bullets. That's it. But here I could copy this prompt, and then I could run this at some AI, right? And now it's going to run that. So I didn't have to write all of this. And this is a really good prompt, right? It's very thorough. Yeah. It's long. It's focused. And I'm Chef Antoine. And for more than 40 years, I've made crepes in the kitchens of Paris. Today, I'll stand beside you in your own kitchen and teach you. All right? Are you ready to continue, or do you have a question first?
Well, that sounds good.
Sounds good, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I would trust him.
Huh?
I would trust him.
You trust Antoine? Are you serious? Yeah, from Paris, man. Of course. The interesting thing about all that is, go ahead, what?
So why do you prefer using Grok versus all the other ones like ChatGPT?
Oh, I don't prefer Grok. So my number one favorite is Claude, and then my second favorite is Gemini, and then everybody else is third. Claude's 1, Gemini's 2, and everybody else is third place for me.
Why? Is it
So artificial intelligence entails artificial intelligence entails artificial personalities, and with artificial personalities, with artificial intelligence that has artificial personalities, we have artificial relationships. And so, right? Artificial intelligence, artificial personalities, artificial relationships. So we have to build relationships with these AI personalities. And just like relationships with people in the real world, where you're like, dude, that one buddy of mine, he's great if you want to like just hang out and laugh, but don't ever have that guy to come over and help you try to build something. He's like no good at building stuff, you know? Like if you want to build something, we want to get my other buddy, you know, Randy, he's incredible. He could build anything. He's so good. And he's also kind of funny. But, you know, just like in the real world, we learn the capabilities of the different people around us. And some employees are great, right? And some employees are like probably going to get fired. And you're like, I'm watching that person, probably going to let that one go. So too it is with the AI, artificial intelligence. They have artificial personalities. You build artificial relationships with them, and you get to know their capabilities. And so like at Claude right now, like Claude Fable 5, like max effort is like, wow, it could do amazing stuff. And it's really good at like going through data and producing reports and business logic. And then if you need to code, you could go over to Code and you could do Claude. Got it. You could do Claude Fable 5 and go ultra code. And that's going to like burn money so fast. You could burn $1,200 overnight running coding all night. And that's really good at coding. But Claude Fable 5 is not so good at writing, right? It can think of the structure of a story, but it's not going to write the story well. Opus 5 is like, you know, it'll look like it's working, and it's just going to give you subpar results, and it's going to keep making mistakes, then having to go back and fix its mistakes. And Sonnet is still learning about it. I don't use Haiku, you know, and that's my assessment of these different models on Claude. And so the better the model generally. And Gemini is really good at writing, right? So I might have Claude Fable 5 produce like the outline for a story, and then take it and give me a prompt for each chapter and take that over to Gemini and have Gemini write it. And Gemini is really good at making images, makes great images, makes great music, you know? So I'd use Gemini for images, music, for writing.
What do you think about ChatGPT?
And ChatGPT is fine. It's third place. It's whatever. My throwaway prompts go there, like, you know, like I just went to Grok to build that prompt. I could have gone to ChatGPT. It's like, you know, I got an account. I get some free use, and I'll use a little bit up at Grok, a little bit up at ChatGPT each day and not worry about it. For small little things I'm not really worried, care about. You know, ChatGPT, OpenAI has great coding. I'm not a coder, right? I teach intro programming, but my friend who's a coder loves OpenAI's Codex. Really good for coding, he says. Okay, good to know. Codex, OpenAI Codex, and OpenAI makes ChatGPT Codex. So that's, you just get to know them, and you know, it naturally happens as you're using them to do stuff. And I'm going to release an article that I wrote, but I haven't published it yet. And so it's going to get published soon. And so here's draft. So artificial intelligence, artificial personalities, and artificial relationships. And in here, I asked, my friend is like this spiritual person. She's a professor also. But she had like a large spiritual awakening, whatever you make of that. You think about it in the Christian terms, you think about Moses in the burning bush, right? Like something that's kind of inexplicable, which then kind of gave her like a higher vision than most of us have who are just working and trying to pay rent, right? And so she does this weekly newsletter. She's a professor out at Fresno Pacific University. And she released a newsletter last week about personal growth and transformation. And it was kind of beautiful what she wrote. So I took her letter and I gave it to Claude. I gave it to, open link in new tab. I gave it to Claude. I gave it to, let me see, who did I give it to? I gave it to, ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. Okay, I gave it to each of these. And I said, take her letter and create a poem in the style of Hafiz and Pablo Neruda. And Hafiz and Pablo Neruda are mystic poets. And mystic poets are poets who write about mysticism and metaphysical things, right? Which are kind of like, what's the mystery that we find ourselves in? That's mysticism. They're really cool poets. But then I gave them all the same prompt. All three AIs, I gave them the same prompt. And they all gave me different output. And then I just looked at the output that they gave me, right? Like this one is ChatGPT. It's very ChatGPT. Like ChatGPT gives you really short sentences, you know? And then this one is Claude, right? And Claude I really liked. And then this one was Gemini. And so just looking at these different outputs visually, you realize you're dealing with, different machines here, different programs, different artificial personalities. And you have to learn those personalities so you can start to understand their output. Anybody want to hear a little bit of these poems? Say aye. I like them too. All right, we'll start with Claude. Nothing is born that has not first consented to the dark. Ask the seed, which goes down into the black soil with no lantern, no map, no argument. Like, that's a pretty cool first sentence. Nothing's born that hasn't consented to the dark, right? Ask the seed, which goes into the black soil with no lantern, no map, no argument. And the seed goes down into the darkness and then comes out and it's born, right? Something new. Sometimes we choose the dying. We take the small knife to the old habit. We tend the wound like a garden. We pull the root of an ancient grief and shake the dirt from it patiently. It's like really beautiful, right? Pull the root of an ancient grief and shake the dirt from it patiently. Like, that's deep, man. But lately I've known the other death, the one that does not ask. It stands in the doorway at 3 a.m. and says, you cannot live one more hour inside this house, and will not say where the next house is, right? Like, you have these things that come to an end in your life. End of a relationship, end of like living in a certain place, and you got to move to the next place. I have taught you to imagine. I've said, study how others were remade, borrow their pattern, cut yourself a new coat. That is good work. Keep it. So that's Claude, right? Super interesting poetry. And it sounds a lot like Hafiz and Pablo Neruda. Here is Gemini's take on it. The bread cannot rise until the wheat consents to fall. And the root must tear the dark earth open just to learn the name of green. We know the quiet, voluntary pruning, the patient chisel against old wounds, the slow sweeping of yesterday's ash from the hearth. Ah, but my sweet friend, there is another dying, isn't there? A sudden wild tearing of the silk, when the room you have lived in becomes a cage of salt and you cannot draw one more breath inside its walls, yet the tavern door ahead opens only into mist. I could teach you the architecture of tomorrow. I could bring you blueprints, maps drawn in careful ink, other men's robes to try against your shivering skin. Throw them into the fire. Tonight, let me simply sit beside you in the terror, right? Because new things can often be terrifying. Oh my God, my wife just walked out. What's my life going to be like now, or whatever, right? Let me pour the dark wine of this silence into your cup. Drop the heavy luggage of your clever plans. Drop the frantic needle trying to stitch the torn ghost of who you were. Drop the desperate hunger to govern your own resurrection. Listen, the beloved is not waiting for your blueprint. This holy unraveling is not a defeat. It is the music starting, the sublime, terrifying tango between the clay and the potter's hands. You do not need to invent the dawn while the midnight is still burning. You do not need an address for the wilderness. Faith is only this, opening your white-knuckled hands and letting the broken pieces fall like cedar shavings to the floor. You are the beloved's own child, spun of ocean foam, starlight, and trembling dust. Let the old shore dissolve behind you. The one who first breathed you into being has never forgotten how to make you bloom again. Like, holy cow, dude. Like, that's amazing, you know? That's an amazing poem. Huh?
Go by pretty deep.
That's amazing. And then ChatGPT is, there comes an hour when the tree no longer bargains with autumn. Ooh, that's amazing. That's so cool. It does not plead for one more green leaf, one more season to explain itself to the wind. It simply lets go. Love has always known this difficult arithmetic. To cradle the dawn, the night must first fold itself into silence. What if the soul is not broken when it begins to fall apart? What if the holy hands have loosened the knots you tied to keep from trembling? Beloved, so it goes on. But I think my favorite out of those, just in this moment, was Gemini. Gemini, the writer. And Claude was okay, but it didn't quite drive it like Gemini's. Like Gemini's was my favorite. And so that's how you learn the personalities of these different, and by the way, of these different AIs. By the way, all these like images, right? Obviously created with AI, you know?
So when you create the image, you just talk to the AI and describe what you wanted to put on the picture.
Yeah, so the way I created this blog post is I said, you know, first I created those 3 poems, and then I said, okay, now create a blog post for me. And, you know, I want a blog post I could post and share to LinkedIn about this, about how you have to get to know that artificial intelligence entails artificial personalities, and you have to build artificial relationships and get to know each of these different AIs so you learn which one to choose for which task. Write a blog post. So AI wrote a blog post about that. Then I went through and I edited it and I made it my own. I added things, I changed things, you know, made it my own. And I said, I want some thumbnails. I want some images that I could include in the blog post. So give me 5 prompts to create images that I could then give to some image AI chatbot, and it'll create the images for me. Yeah.
So you could say create 20 of them.
Yeah.
Create 20 of them.
Yeah, create 20 of them. Yeah. And so when you start thinking about, okay, how do I do things a little bit more, like you could get 40 letters of recommendation from all of your professors as an undergraduate. You should be posting something once a week at LinkedIn, right, as an article. So I don't even remember what I posted recent. Oh, I posted this morning, right? 12 AI skills everyone needs in 2026. First 6 lectures free. Okay? So I posted that this morning. And had it create this image. You know, but you should be posting something each week on your LinkedIn. And then people will start following you on LinkedIn. And you should have AI help you really polish your LinkedIn, make the banner for your LinkedIn.
How do you have AI do all that for you?
The best way would be to take screenshots. Take a screenshot of this, scroll down, take a screenshot of this, right? And then say, hey, help me improve my LinkedIn. Tell me what to do, what needs to change.
And then
Huh?
what do you do to do that?
Okay, and then AI would say, okay, you need a better, you know, when I did this recently, like in the last 2 weeks, right? I was like, you need to change this. I'm like, you know, it said change it to this. So then I just go in here and I edit and I change it.
It just tells you.
Yeah, because computers can do some things, and then sometimes, like LinkedIn says, we don't allow automated bots coming to LinkedIn. And so the AI can't go there and change it for you. Some stuff the AI could just go change it for you. You say, go change it. But for LinkedIn, the AI will say, you need to go change it, make this change. And then you do it, and then what's the next change? And then it tells you, I had to create this for me. Right? So you want a good LinkedIn. You want to be putting something up every week. So when people look at it, it's like, okay, this is good. You know, this person is active. They're into going pre-med. So they're posting every week about like some research or something they learned in class. Right? You could take lectures in class and then you could produce a blog article out of that. You could go to class and you could record your whole class with your phone. You could take the text transcript, you could upload it, you could say produce the lecture notes, and then give me the high-level summary paragraph. And then you could say write a blog post about this. Now create the images for it, and then you could just go post it to LinkedIn. And then at the end of the semester, you say, write an email to send to my professors to ask for a letter of recommendation, right? And all this stuff's going to make you more successful. I only have 3 letters of recommendation. That's really sad. Like, you know, I should have collected more throughout my life. I didn't. So I've made mistakes, and I want you to avoid making the mistakes I made. How many people, this is all good, learn, say I? How many people are worn out and like, that's enough. What am I doing here? Say I. Okay. I like practical technology. This is a technology class, and all the stuff we talked about is very applicable. Right? We talked about A/B testing in a very practical, applicable way. That's covered at some point in this semester. We're talking about AI and how do you use AI effectively. That's part of what we're supposed to cover this semester. But like if we learn it right now, then we could use it throughout the entire semester. It's the most powerful stuff. I don't know what else to tell you. Is there anything else? Anybody have any questions or comments about all this? I think that's pretty good. We covered a lot of good ground.
So that's everything on module 2?
No. Now we could start with that. Now we could start with that.
All right.
You ready? Let's do that in the next video.